Imagine this. You get out of bed and your legs feel strong. No wobble, no stiffness, just a calm, steady start to the day. That quiet confidence in your stride. It used to be automatic, but here's what most people over 60 don't realize. Your legs might already be getting weaker silently, gradually, and it starts before your day even begins. Today we're going to uncover a simple, familiar food that's rich in vitamin D and show you how it could help protect your legs, your balance, and your freedom. And this might just be the easiest health upgrade you make all year. Let's be honest, getting out of bed just doesn't feel the same anymore. Maybe your legs feel stiff. Maybe there's a brief moment where you hesitate before standing. Or maybe you find yourself grabbing the nightstand just in case. You tell yourself it's normal. Just age, just a rough night. But here's something most American seniors don't realize: that little wobble might be your body's early warning sign. In the United States, over 70% of adults over 60 are believed to have insufficient vitamin D levels, and most have no idea. You've heard that vitamin D helps with bone health. That's true. But what often gets overlooked is how vital it is for muscle strength, coordination, and balance. Without enough vitamin D, your legs don't respond the way they used to. You might notice fatigue, slower reaction time, less control when walking, especially first thing in the morning. And that's not just a feeling low. Vitamin D is linked to a significantly higher risk of falls among older Americans, according to the CDC. What's tricky is the decline happens quietly. You don't suddenly collapse. You just start avoiding stairs, taking shorter walks, feeling unsure. And most people never connect that to nutrition. They blame it on age, arthritis, or just getting older. But part of the problem: their body is missing something critical and fixable. Here's the good news: you can take action. Not with expensive treatments, not with pills, but with real food, nutrient-dense, accessible, and surprisingly effective. In this video, we'll show you the top vitamin D-rich food that helps support leg strength, stability, and confidence, especially for older Americans. And if that food doesn't work for your lifestyle, don't worry. We've got alternatives that fit every preference. Let's dive in. You've probably had orange juice your whole life at breakfast on weekends, maybe even in a hospital tray. It's comforting, familiar. But what most American seniors don't realize is that this common drink, when fortified properly, can become one of the simplest, most effective tools for protecting leg strength after 60. Fortified orange juice contains added vitamin D3, the same form your body naturally produces from sunlight and the most usable by your muscles. And that matters. As we get older, our skin becomes less efficient at producing vitamin D, and our intestines absorb less of it through food. According to the National Institutes of Health, more than 70% of adults over 60 in the U.S. have insufficient vitamin D levels, and this shortfall can quietly erode balance, muscle tone, and coordination over time. Here's where orange juice becomes a double agent. It's not just the added D3. It also contains vitamin C, which helps your body produce collagen, the protein responsible for keeping joints, tendons, and muscles strong and connected. That means you're not just supporting your bones, you're reinforcing the soft tissues that hold you up. The timing also matters. When consumed first thing in the morning, fortified orange juice acts as a wake-up signal, not just for your taste buds, but for your muscular system. Combined with a protein-rich breakfast and a few minutes of movement, it creates a priming effect that prepares your legs to carry you through the day with more stability. So what should you look for? Find orange juice labeled fortified with vitamin D3, not just D or D2. Choose a low sugar or no added sugar version, ideally one that's not from concentrate. And don't chug a giant glass, just 4 to 6 ounces is plenty. Pro tip: pair your juice with a breakfast that includes healthy fats like eggs, avocado, or a handful of nuts. Vitamin D is fat-soluble, and this simple pairing helps your body absorb more of it. Then take a short 10-minute walk outside. Even indirect morning sunlight helps trigger natural vitamin D activation, giving you a double benefit. Real story. Jean, a 68-year-old from Florida, started this exact routine after she nearly lost her balance while getting out of bed. "It scared me," she said. "I thought I was just tired. But now I realize my body was missing something deeper." After 3 weeks of consistent fortified juice-light walking and simple breakfasts, she reported fewer wobbly moments, better posture, and even more energy by mid-morning. It's not a magic trick. It's nutrition used with purpose. And for your legs, sometimes all it takes is one glass, one walk, and one consistent decision to change how you move through your day. Fatty fish like salmon and sardines aren't just good for your heart. They're one of the most overlooked protectors of muscle health, especially in your legs. These fish are among the richest natural sources of vitamin D3, the exact form your body needs to support muscle contraction, nerve signaling, and full body stability. Unlike fortified foods, the vitamin D in fatty fish comes built in, absorbed as nature intended, and delivered alongside omega-3 fatty acids that reduce inflammation and protect joint tissues from age-related breakdown. For older Americans, this combination is crucial. According to the CDC, nearly 1 in 4 adults over 65 experiences a fall each year, and muscle weakness is one of the leading contributors. The National Institute on Aging highlights that age-related muscle loss, called sarcopenia, can begin as early as 60, accelerating with inactivity and poor nutrition. Fatty fish helps slow that trajectory. Consuming just 2 servings of fatty fish per week has been shown to improve vitamin D status and reduce markers of muscle degeneration. That's a small investment with outsized returns. Even 1 serving per week can make a measurable difference over time. And you don't need to be a gourmet cook to benefit. Not a fan of cooking? No problem. Canned wild-caught salmon or sardines packed in olive oil are convenient, shelf-stable, and budget-friendly. Mash sardines with mustard and lemon juice for a quick spread. Toss salmon into a grain bowl with spinach and brown rice, or flake it into a warm soup with beans and vegetables. The key isn't fancy, it's consistency. Pro tip: pair fatty fish with leafy greens like kale or arugula, or small portions of complex carbs like sweet potatoes or quinoa. This combination supports better vitamin absorption and provides steady post-meal energy, which helps fuel light physical activity. Real story. Harold, 72, from Oregon used to rely heavily on processed deli meats. After switching to grilled salmon twice a week, he noticed his legs didn't feel as heavy in the morning. "I stopped skipping stairs," he said. "I actually wanted to move again." His doctor noted a moderate improvement in both balance and vitamin D levels after 2 months. Fatty fish aren't a trend, they're a time-tested, science-backed tool. For your muscles, your mobility, and your morning confidence, they deliver more than flavor. They deliver function. For years, egg yolks were misunderstood, labeled unhealthy, blamed for cholesterol, pushed aside in favor of low-fat everything. But here's what many American seniors are only now rediscovering: egg yolks may be one of the most underrated allies for leg strength and stability after 60. Each yolk contains roughly 40 IUs of natural vitamin D, not a massive number, but one that matters when consumed consistently. What makes eggs special isn't just the vitamin D, though. It's the full nutritional package: high-quality protein, essential fats, choline for brain function, selenium for muscle recovery, and amino acids your body craves as it ages. Now here's the twist: many older adults still toss out the yolk, believing it's healthier to eat only the whites. But that advice, it's outdated. The American Heart Association updated its guidelines in 2020, stating that dietary cholesterol from whole foods like eggs has minimal impact on blood cholesterol for most people, especially those over 60 who are otherwise healthy. Skipping the yolk means skipping the part of the egg where almost all the vitamin D lives, and without it, you're leaving strength on the table. Eggs are also one of the most affordable, versatile foods you can find. Scramble 2 whole eggs with spinach and feta for breakfast. Boil a batch on Sunday and snack throughout the week. Fold them into rice bowls, serve with roasted veggies, or enjoy a breakfast for dinner night. Pro tip: always pair eggs with a fresh source of fiber like berries or a slice of whole grain toast. This combination helps stabilize blood sugar and supports muscle function throughout the day. Real story: Donna, 66, from Ohio, used to eat egg whites every morning. It felt safe, she said. But I was always hungry again by 9 a.m. and a little shaky. Her doctor suggested switching to whole eggs, and within a few weeks she noticed more energy, fewer leg cramps, and better balance getting out of the car. Eggs don't need rebranding. They need reclaiming. For seniors aiming to stay active, steady, and independent, the yolk isn't the problem, it might be part of the solution. Mushrooms might not be the first thing you think of when it comes to vitamin D, but certain varieties, when exposed to sunlight, can become a hidden gem for older Americans looking to protect their legs and mobility. Unlike most plant-based foods, mushrooms have a rare ability they can produce vitamin D2 naturally through their skin just like we do. This makes them one of the few vegetarian-friendly options that actually support vitamin D intake from whole food, not a pill. And it's not just theory. According to a study from Boston University, UV-exposed mushrooms, especially Maytake portobello and shiitake, can deliver anywhere from 200 to 800 IU of vitamin D2 per serving, depending on the exposure and variety. That's significant, especially if you're someone who avoids dairy or doesn't get enough sunlight year-round. While D2 isn't quite as potent as D3 in long-term vitamin D levels, it still plays an active role in muscle support, especially when consumed regularly. And more importantly, it adds variety to your nutrition routine without needing a supplement. Here's how to use them. Check grocery store labels for vitamin D-enhanced or UV-exposed mushrooms. Sauté them in olive oil and garlic for a savory side. Roast them with thyme and onions. Add them to omelet stews or warm grain bowls. Keep the skins on, they're where the D2 lives. Pro tip: if you buy fresh mushrooms that haven't been pre-exposed, place them gill side up in direct sunlight for 15-30 minutes. Studies show this can boost their vitamin D content dramatically, even through a kitchen window. Real story: Elliot, 74, from Michigan, gave up dairy years ago and wasn't interested in pills. A friend suggested vitamin D mushrooms. He started roasting a small batch every Sunday to use throughout the week. They became my secret weapon, he says. My knees feel better. My steps feel stronger. I didn't expect mushrooms to make that kind of difference. Sometimes the best support for your legs isn't found in supplements or fancy formulas. It's hiding in a brown paper bag in the produce aisle waiting for a little sunlight. More and more American seniors are switching from dairy to plant-based milks for digestion taste or simply because it feels better. But here's what most don't know. Certain plant milks, when fortified properly, can become one of the easiest ways to boost vitamin D and support leg strength without changing much at all. Almond, soy, oat, and rice milks are often enriched with vitamin D2 or D3, some providing as much as 20–30% of your daily recommended intake in a single cup. And when you consider that over 70% of older adults in the U.S. fall short on vitamin D, that small glass becomes a quiet daily defense against fatigue, wobbliness, and mobility loss. The trick lies in the label. Look specifically for fortified with vitamin D3, it's the most bioavailable form. And choose unsweetened or low-sugar versions, since excess sugar can create inflammation and reduce nutrient efficiency. Brands like Califia Farm Silk and Oatly all offer fortified options you can find at most supermarkets. There's no need to overhaul your routine. Just swap your regular milk for fortified plant milk in 1 or 2 spots, your morning coffee, a smoothie, cereal, or even warmed with turmeric and cinnamon before bed. It's subtle, but it adds up. Pro tip: combine your plant milk habit with a dose of healthy fat chia seeds, almond butter, or avocado toast to help absorb the vitamin D more effectively. Real story: Carla, 70, used to skip breakfast entirely. But after dealing with frequent leg cramps and her doctor flagging low D levels, she started adding a fortified oat milk latte to her morning. It felt small, she says. But now my legs don't ache before lunch. I feel steadier, like my body's got a better baseline again. Fortified plant milks don't just replace dairy, they give you a flexible, digestible way to feed your muscles what they're missing. And when consistency is the goal, ease is everything. Maybe orange juice isn't your thing. Maybe fish feels too strong, or you're already eating eggs. That's okay, because building up your vitamin D isn't about one food. It's about small, smart choices made consistently across your week. And the good news? You've got options. Canned tuna and olive oil is one of the most convenient backup sources of vitamin D3. A single 3-ounce can provides around 150 IUs of vitamin D plus heart-healthy omega-3s. It's shelf-stable, affordable, and easy to turn into a quick salad wrap or toast topper. Choose wild-caught when possible and avoid varieties packed in brine or flavored sauces high in sodium. Cheese, especially natural cheddar and Swiss, offers a modest but valuable dose of vitamin D and calcium. It pairs easily with other foods, and for those who tolerate dairy, it can add functional variety. Keep portions small, 1–2 ounces, and go for aged, minimally processed options. Shred over steamed vegetables, pair with apples or whole grain crackers, or melt into a morning omelet. Tofu, especially calcium-set varieties, is a quiet powerhouse. Some brands are now fortified with vitamin D, providing up to 100 or 150 IUs per serving. For plant-based eaters, this is gold. Toss tofu into stir-fries, grill slices as a savory breakfast protein, or crumble into egg scrambles. It takes on flavor well and delivers more than most expect. Shrimp, while often overlooked, is naturally rich in vitamin D and low in fat. 3 ounces can provide around 150 IUs depending on preparation. Lightly sautéed in olive oil with garlic and lemon, shrimp makes a fantastic dinner protein that supports muscle tone without weighing you down. Cod liver oil might sound old school, but it remains one of the most concentrated sources of vitamin D3 available. 1 teaspoon can deliver more than 400, 500 IUs plus vitamin A and omega-3s. If the taste isn't for you, soft-gel versions are widely available and easier to tolerate. Now let's talk strategy, because knowing what to eat is one thing, but knowing how to support absorption is just as important. Vitamin D is fat-soluble, which means your body absorbs it better when paired with healthy fats. That's why avocado, olive oil, nuts, seeds, and fatty fish play a dual role. They deliver nutrition and help unlock it. Another tip: movement matters. Even 5 minutes of walking or stretching after meals helps shuttle nutrients into your muscles. Morning sunlight, when possible, adds a natural D-boost through your skin, enhancing the benefits of whatever you've eaten. And don't overlook timing. Taking in vitamin D-rich foods earlier in the day may support better daytime muscle function and reduce that sluggish, heavy leg feeling some people get by late afternoon. Try front-loading your vitamin D sources before 2 p.m. whenever you can. Here's one more thing, maybe the most important. Many older adults believe they can't improve at this stage, that if their balance is off, it's just something to accept. But research from the National Institute on Aging shows otherwise. Muscle strength and function can improve even into your 70s and 80s if given the right support. Nutrition, movement, sunlight. It's not magic. It's biology responding to attention. So no, you don't need to overhaul your diet. You just need a few foods on rotation, a few movement moments in your day, a few conscious choices. These are the kinds of small wins that become strength over time. And if you're reading this, you're already halfway there. Your legs have carried you farther than you realize. Through school halls and job interviews, through the grocery store aisles, across parking lots, up hospital staircases, down wedding aisles. They've stood at kitchen sinks, gravesides, polling booths, church pews, and every kind of waiting room imaginable. They've kept you moving even when your heart wasn't sure it wanted to. And yet, for something so vital, so central to how we live, we rarely thank them. We rarely check in. Until they hesitate. Until rising from the couch feels more calculated. Until walking from the bed to the bathroom in the morning feels just slightly unsteady. Until you notice yourself skipping stairs, reaching for a wall, or choosing the nearest chair just to rest. That's how leg weakness begins. Not dramatically, not loudly, but gradually, quietly. Like a slow fade in your favorite song, you don't realize the music has changed until it's almost gone. But here's what most people don't hear: it's not too late. According to data from the National Institute on Aging, muscle strength can improve well into your 70s and even 80s as long as the body receives proper support. Nutrition, movement, recovery. These aren't radical ideas. They're your body's original tools reintroduced with intention. Vitamin D plays a starring role in that support. It's involved in muscle fiber function, balance, energy metabolism, and even your reaction time. Low vitamin D doesn't just leave you tired. It can leave you vulnerable to falls, to slow recovery, to losing confidence in your own footing. And confidence is everything. Because it's not just about walking safely. It's about walking in freedom. The freedom to stand in your garden without worrying about uneven ground. The freedom to say yes to a family hike, a trip to the market, a vacation you thought you couldn't handle. The freedom to stay independent in your own home for longer than the statistics say you should. That kind of freedom starts with small, almost invisible decisions. A cup of fortified oat milk, a few minutes in the sun before noon, grilled salmon instead of deli meat, a quiet stretch near the window, eggs with the yolk, a morning routine that says, I haven't given up on these legs. Not today. And when you do that not once, but every day for a week, a month, a season, your body remembers. Your legs remember. They begin to respond not out of fear but out of rhythm. You step more naturally, more confidently. You stand up taller without knowing why. You are not too far gone. You are not too old. You are not stuck. And even if you are unsure, let your habits lead the way before your doubt takes over. So if this video sparked something in you, let that be your first proof. Share it. Send it. Save it. Talk about it. Someone in your life, someone quiet, someone proud, someone tired might need to hear this exact reminder. Because strength after 60 doesn't look like it used to. It's not flexed. It's lived. In the breakfast you choose. In the chair you rise from. In the steps you take quietly, steadily, beautifully, without anyone noticing. Except you. We're Strong Senior Health. And we believe that resilience isn't about refusing to age. It's about choosing how. Every single day.